Multitasking, that's it. Actually, we just did it in the bathroom before I came up here, right? Please don't judge us. We haven't been out of the house without the kids in a while, so. So anyways, we decided after having 4 kids, we're not going to have any more, so I was told we're going to get a vasectomy, so actually, listen, so think about this. I've spent an entire 12 minutes in the baby making process compared to her 36 months and 4 years of breastfeeding. So I think that, it's the least I could do. I'm a nice guy. So anyways, so on my paperwork it says you got to be completely shaven before your procedure. So I run over to the store, get some Lady Bix, and run home. I'm like excited. So I get my shaving cream going. I'm in the bathroom, totally naked, sitting there. I'm down like this, hovering over a mirror, trying to figure this out, holding my dick in one hand, shaving my balls with the other one, and then I realized I was like, crap, I had more hair than I thought on my ass. But anyway, so I'm standing there, I'm done, and I'm there, and I said, so I get to my appointment, right, and I sit there, and I'm sitting there in the room, waiting there, literally hanging around. Some lady walks in, some young girl, and she's like, hello. She goes, I'm here to prep you. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I sit there, she comes down, she's looking right at my junk, and she's standing there like a catcher. And then all of a sudden she's touching, she's grabbing, she's yanking, and all of a sudden in my head I'm like, I hope I do not get turned on right now, because I just don't need that. So the doctor comes in. He sits down, he's getting started, and out of the blue, he asked me a question. He's like, do you mind if we take a picture of your procedure today? I'm like, dude, my barber has asked me this many a times because, he does a good job. But taking a picture of my shaved balls, I don't know, that's a whole different story, right? So I'm sitting there, balls sagging, ass hanging out, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, I'm not in the position right now to make this decision. I can't be negotiating with a guy with, him staying with a needle and a freaking sharp object in my hand. So I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead. So the assistant runs up, she grabs camera equipment and lighting thing, and she's all setting it up. So I'm like, oh crap. So he gets there, he looks down, he starts grabbing my balls and jiggling everything around, grabbing this tube I didn't even know I had. So then he pulls out this big needle and he stabs my scrotum and he starts smacking. And all of a sudden I'm like, everything goes numb. Totally, completely numb. I can't feel crap. So I'm sitting there, he pulls out a sharp knife, starts cutting my skin. Everything's open up. I'm like, oh crap. And all of a sudden he starts having a conversation with me. He's like, hey, who do you like in the playoffs? Have you tried that new taco bar down the street? And I'm like, dude, I do not want to have a conversation right now. And so all of a sudden he pulls out the cauterizing tool. I just see smoke and hear sizzling. And then I look around and I'm like, damn, there's this aroma that hits the air. And I'm like, how close is that taco bar? And I'm like, that smells something. I think they're making chicharrones or something. So anyways, we end up in, so because I went through this whole procedure with wide open, I was wide awake. I asked people that are close to me, some friends that are actually wanting this procedure done, if they want to save some money. I have a sharp knife, great sewing skills, and a lot of tequila, but no one's ever taken me up on my option. So I don't know, anybody? No? No? All right, cool, thank you.
Keep going for it, Jeff. I'm gonna tell you how I got my balls cut for him.